But what's interesting here is on the 19th, it is a blank page. It says Las Vegas NWA meeting. And as you thumb through on the 20th and the 21st, once again, it says Las Vegas NWA meeting. And this is one of those years, as I understand it, where you actually brought some of your performers there. I don't know why I'm so fascinated with this idea of the NWA meetings, but I do want to know, like, what was that like? Like, take me through. Are you guys in a conference room? Do you have a banquet hall? Like, what would happen during one of these 3-day jaunts where we get the cast of characters known as professional wrestling together in Las Vegas?
Dinners. There was always a dinner with some people at Caesar's Palace. Then there was the gambling. Oh, I mean, it depends on, the different promoter. That
is it just fellowship? I mean, or is there a formal banquet type thing?
It was backroom deals.
Okay.
You had the normal meeting. By that time, Vince Sr. was not there because Junior had basically taken over.
That's right.
And not that many members, I guess, were left. I mean, who's gonna? I wish I'd had a list of who was there.
Well, let me run through what the Observer said. Maybe this will jog you.
Sure. All right.
Meltzer would write in the Observer, from Crockett Country, the latest is that Jim is treating 18 of his wrestlers to a 4-day vacation to attend the NWA convention this weekend. They won't be running any shows, and I believe the taped WTBS show this past Sunday. The NWA convention takes place this weekend in Las Vegas. It should be the last one, considering the demands Crockett will make concerning the use of Ric Flair. Crockett will combine shows with any local promotion which he so desires, including Portland, Lexington, Pensacola, West Palm Beach, and Memphis coming up during September. Crockett will provide half the card, the top half if the Lexington show is any indication, and get 50% of the gate. In order to book talent like Morton and Gibson, the Road Warriors, Valiant, or Flair, for the most part, you must agree to the Crockett plan. Crockett also sets the pricing structure at these shows, with ringside going at the $20 to $25 level in some of the cities. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to realize what will happen. Whether these shows will draw or not, the shows which follow up won't, because they'll pale in comparison. The local promotion will then need Crockett talent to draw a crowd. He'll be able to make more demands. In some ways, this is similar to what Vince did, with one noted difference. During the transition period, fans will see some fantastic wrestling cards, unlike what McMahon provided. I do have a hunch that Crockett will become a real threat to McMahon's status as #1 promoter in this country by late fall or early winter. So you see the groundwork being laid here, and Meltzer saying, boy, if this works, immediately Crockett is a real threat to Vince McMahon. And whereas Vince would come in before and try to quote unquote buy the territory, really what he was doing is buying TV time, picking off the best players, and leaving what was left over to just figure it out with the other promoter. What you're doing is saying, allegedly, what Jimmy's doing is saying, hey, let's work together, and I'll give you the top half of my card, meaning you put together the matches, but the guys that fans see on TV every week on TBS, they'll be here. And not like, I don't mean to talk about people this way, curtain jerkers or mid-carders, but my main acts will be here on your show. And Meltzer says, well, that'll work for that show, but it won't feel as special and substantial to those promoters when that top talent leaves. That's logical, Mr. Crockett. I could see where Dave is going with that line of thinking. However, the other option is don't partner with Crockett and let Vince run your ass completely out of business. Is that pretty much it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the challenge was that you have to basically do what we have done, let's say in Charlotte, in Greensboro, in Greenville, that you don't go every other week, that you go once a month. Then you end up running big shows. That what will happen is that pare down some of your talent, and you can run some shows, but there again, you're counting on the big shows to make your income. Yes, it could have been done, but it didn't happen. That the logic's there for it to work. Personalities, as far as promoters, would not let it work because they're giving up control. I can see that. I wouldn't, but there again, they have Vince sitting right over here. It's devil if you do and devil if you don't. So what would you do?
Right.
Do you go and pare everything back and just run low cost shows off of your television? It depends on if you're paying for the TV or if the TV's bartered.
Mm-hmm.
If the TV's bartered, then there's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you're paying for that on a weekly basis, then you got a problem. So,
I mean, it's a rock and a hard place for every promoter. And I could see where Meltzer's saying, well, that won't work. But I just can't help but say, what about the alternative? The alternative is you just see Vince come in, promise your top stars more money, take them, cards fall. As the cards fall, your TV bills fall behind. And then he calls your TV station and says, hey, I bet that old Tom, Dick, and Harry promoter, he's behind on his bills. What if I paid you double and I paid you a year in advance? Guess what? There went your TV. So if he took your stars and he took your TV, as they said, No Country for Old Men, or No, There Will Be Blood, I drank your milkshake. I mean, that's it. Vince is here. So you guys at least offered a lifeline. The strategy made sense. And I'm curious if you remember any of the players who were there, because he listed, towns like Pensacola, and he listed other towns as well, like Portland. Like, what did Don Owen think about this proposition? What did, the Fullers or the Armstrongs, what did they think about what was being presented and offered here?
Oh, they didn't like it one bit. It's a love-hate relationship. They love to have the talent, but hated the fact that in a lot of cases they lose control. And I think if more thought had gone into this whole thing, and instead of hitting him over the head with a sledgehammer, maybe hit him with a feather at first, and then gradually get him used to, it would be, all right, let's go once a month in Memphis, and we'll run this show, your talent and our talent, and we'll co-promote. Just that. And see how it works. See, how you feel about it, how we feel about it. Same thing with, let's say, Pensacola. Same thing with, let's say, Huntsville, Alabama, or Birmingham, to get them used to it. And it might be, okay, they could, maybe they see ways for them to cut costs and still get the return they're looking for. Because that's the main thing is, money. If they make the same amount or more money with less talent and less expense, okay, and they still have their fingers in it, then that might make sense. But to come and heavy-hand it to them, naturally you're going to get the pushback. And there was pushback, I'm sure.